Hello everyone. Today in this video, we are going to take a look at the recent update that allows for dropdowns to have multiple selections. Now, before we get started in this example about favorite ice creams, we're just going to go to the update blog. And of course, I'll have this link in the comments so you can go and check it out. This is essentially what I just said, allowing drop-down chips to have multiple selections. So instead of having to use a script or some other way, you can actually just build the drop-down, select a button to allow for multiple selections, and then any user can pick multiple ones as seen here on this blog. Now, one of the other things that's important is that the rapid release is starting August 19th, and the scheduled release is for the 5th. And so, it might take some time since this video comes out, but it is available to all Google Workspace, individuals, and just personal Google accounts. So in theory, everybody should have access to this. It just might be, come early September or a little bit later. I know these dates have changed a few times since I've looked at them. So going back to this, we're just going to show you what this looks like. So you can make a dropdown. I'm just going to go to Insert, Dropdown, and then here you can see this allow for multiple selections. Mine is going to be from a range, and I'm just going to select Table 1, All. And that table is just one that I have in the data that just allows me to add more ice cream flavors if I want to. Now, going to here, you allow multiple selections. You can also choose, since this is all, I might just say table 1, and that'll remove that top part, which is a newer feature with the tables and super helpful. Now, in these, you might want to color some of them, like, maybe getting, it kind of looks peanut butter, chocolate chip, maybe chocolate, mint's kind of the green. I'll just do pink. Ooh, red. We'll just do purple. That's fine. It'll just make it look a little bit nicer as we're going. Now, I have this one here, and I'm just going to slide it down. And these are the people that might be selecting it in this example. So when you click it, now you can see there's that checkbox that's there. And again, you can do multiple ones. Now, the one in C2, it's saying there's an issue. It is newer, so let's take a look. Yeah, for whatever reason, I've been getting an issue with peanut butter. So maybe I'll just remove that and try peanut. Let's try that and see. Yeah, that seems to work now. It is newer, so I'm sure there's going to be some bugs here. Let me just go ahead and, well, let's see if I can go ahead and just add peanut butter cup, because that, to be honest, is one of my favorites. So I kind of want to have that one there. So yeah, now that's not, It's super interesting. I might cut this out, but I kind of don't want to. Just, again, it's a newer feature. Oh, now that's working. But I would say to troubleshoot, just, that kind of looks peanut buttery. Let's go with that. Apply to all. It is a newer feature, so just be aware that some of these things will happen. Now, right now, I don't have this converted to see all of them. So if you use that, you can see that it'll just kind of stack them. One other thing that's kind of interesting is that based off of how you select them will be where they come from. So like these are the same exact ones, but I selected them in a different order. So in this example of saying your top flavors, you might want to specify the first one will be awarded more points, or, 1, 2, 3, stuff like that. Again, completely up to you on how you choose to do that. I just find that interesting, and I don't know, you can leave a comment if you think that's helpful or not. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory on how to do that. You can see here that now you have all this data. And one other thing that I was going to note. So here, if you go to advanced options, and let's say, you switch this to show a warning, that'll have it so that issue that I was having wouldn't be seen. You can have select help, But the one thing to note is that the display style has to be chip. And I'm guessing, if you switch this and then, it's just not an option. So it does have to be chip for this to work. So, again, I assume it's just that you can actually see all of these and then you can come in and, remove them and add them again, so on. That's probably just the mindset. So, let's say here you're supposed to ask for 3. So let's just, bring it down to 3. And just as a thought of one thing I could see is it would be nice if you could limit it to multiple selections up to a certain number. In this example, maybe I'm asking for 3 exact flavors and I want to see what are everybody's favorite flavors. And, again, let's get some data that's not actually there. Like someone didn't follow it and did 4, some did 1 and 2, so on. And, of course, I'm stacking up the ones that I like. Anyway, as you go through this, one important part is, well, what can you do to take this data and then make it in a meaningful way? So let's make a graph with this just to show. If you go into that chart and, let's just do that, aggregate this from C, use 1 as headers. You can see here that it just shows all of the unique. Maybe you want to see how many picked what kind and what was the most popular. Here, since it's all in one column, what it's stored as is the first one that was picked, comma, space, second one, comma, space, third one. So the delimiter would be that comma space. And let's say, you have this data, you are trying to count, you could go like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and use the colors and count it by hand, but we're in a spreadsheet, so let's use this. So this is the count sheet. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this here, which is an array. All it's gonna do is pull that data and put it here. So we can see these are what people selected, and these are the people. And again, if I go back to this one here, you can see, and maybe I just want to do some of these. Okay, so now I kind of finished all of them. So these are the top flavors. And one thing that you can do in order to get these would be using the transpose function to select all the options and then make a, basically find that exact text in order to, count those. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do equal table 1. And it will need to be in arrays, so it goes down, and I'm going to transpose it. What transpose does, whoops, you got to spell it right. There we go. What that does is it brings it all the way over here. And I had this formatted as alternate colors, so I just might continue that to M. I think that's, almost perfect. Then it'll account for some more space. So in any case, we have those here. And what you can do is you can use something called regular expression match or regexpress. And this would be what you are looking in, and what you want to find is this here. And so Rocky Road is not found in that one, thus it is false. So if I bring this down, although I do need to specify that the D column will not stay. There we go. Excuse me. I had to make sure that it stays in this road, so it's following this here. What these are going to do now is it's going to continue to pull. At any time it finds Rocky Road, it'll be true. So here's Rocky Road, these two are Rocky Road, and so on. You could also use Control F to just double check Rocky Road. So any of those ones should be true, and you can see there that it is. Now, the other thing I should do here as well is that I always want this row to match with this one. So this column should go pull down and choose different rows, but then it should always be C instead of if I move it over here, this one's going to be looking at D, and that's not what I want. So I always want it to be in C. And when I pull it to vanilla, then what this should pull is this one and this one. So I'm just going to redo that one down. And then if I pull it over, then it's going to show all of the vanilla. Same, the ones that are true should be vanilla. And you can see true, 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 true. And so since I had this and I can pull it, I could just go ahead and complete it all the way to here. Now this one is empty, so it's going to be true. I'm just going to keep it to there. Go ahead and just kind of show that that's the last one. And now we have trues and falses. And if you want to, you could put something in there, like if it's this, then show whatever, so on. Now, one thing that you guys might have seen already, and I just want to make sure, is let's go to this chocolate. There's a lot of them that are true because there's, well, chocolate in a couple of names. So if I look here, you can see a lot of these do that because chocolate chip cookie has the word chocolate in it. And so that's going to actually be true. So any of these ones that are chocolate chip will be true for these ones. So there's a lot more trues for chocolate than that. I wanted to just specify that just in case you are using it in this way. The issue will come up if that text is in something else, then it'll be there. So a way that you could change that is you could go to the data and, instead of chocolate, have it be chocolate ice cream. Same for vanilla. If there's another one that's like vanilla and strawberry shortcake or something like that, you could just have ice cream at the end and that will complete it. So now when I go here and we're looking for chocolate ice cream, it's not going to pull the chocolate chip here because it's not chocolate ice cream chip cookie dough. That said, all of these ones that had that chocolate in there are now going to have errors. And so, unfortunately, you will have to go into that and delete the chocolate. And it looks like right now you just have to delete them, and then you could add chocolate ice cream. And then this one, honestly, I don't know what's up with that. All right. Oh, it's because I switched it to vanilla ice cream. So I'm just going to undo. I'm just going to remove that. So there we go. Ice cream. So again, that's something hopefully you will do before this so you don't have to clean it. But it's good to note and be able to plan accordingly. So now that all of this is where I want it to be, I'm going to go back to the data, or excuse me, back to the count sheet, and we can see the chocolate ice cream. Now we have those trues. And if you wanted to do a total count, all you need to do is do, well, it already did automatically, but counta. And instead of just counta, you might want to do count if, or you can make an if statement on these and say, if this is false, like if this equals true, then put true. Otherwise, nothing. And that will make it so if it's true, you can count it. And then if it's false, it's nothing. So again, however you want to do it. Again, you could do count if and then have this range and then true. Because if you did that and you just had this true or false, it'll be the same thing. This honestly looks a little bit cleaner, but you can see there's 5 and there's still 5. So, up to you. I'm going to just move this over how you want it and remove the M because we don't have any there. And now you can see what the flavors were and the count of each one. And in this case, peanut butter cup, chocolate chip, and mint chip were all chosen. Now, this will show you how you can use this and actually be able to just pull an index from these ones. Again, we talked about how the ice cream, if you use this way, it would have to be there. The other option that you could use instead of region match is you can use exact. The thing is it has to be exactly Rocky Road. It's not just if it finds this exact sort of thing, like it has to find it in those. So it's a little bit different. And again, this exact wouldn't be finding just the Rocky Road with other things. Is this cell exactly Rocky Road? And so the way to do that would be to split it and then search based off of that. So I can kind of start building that for you. I'm just going to make a copy of this. And let's just call this one the exact split. And what I'm going to do here is we have what they chose, and I'm just going to put a few extra columns. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use equal split. And this is important if you are using this. It has to have a delimiter that isn't one in there. So for example, if I use this and the delimiter is comma space, what that means is it's going to do it by every comma or space, not just this exact text. So you're going to get an array issue because it's splitting every single one that is a comma and a space. So if I delete that space, then we have these. Now, if you look into it, these are actually going to have an additional space in there. So you might want to use array formula and then trim. And what that will do is search for any additional white space and now removes it. So all the commas will be removed and then any unnecessary spaces. So I'm just going to pull this down, and going back to kind of what I was saying, if someone puts 4 in there, then we're going to have some issues. And if I go back here, I think did anyone? I might have edited it actually so that they're all 3. Let's add one to be like 5, and then, this one has 4, and I go to this split one, then you can see, first, second, third, fourth, fifth for some. And, again, depending on how you have it, it could lead to some different issues. And that's going all the way back to the start where I was saying it would be nice to have a limit, like up to 3. And if you did want to, you could say that this is like first, second, third, and then, these ones are not supposed to be there. You might have to clean it, or you can just count them. So let's say that everyone did actually follow direction and did not, put 4 or 5. So, first make sure, yep, they're all there. And of course, if someone only has one flavor they like, then that could also skew your data. But in any case, now that we have this split, this is where we could use the exact formula for these. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete these extra columns. Show this is what we're working on. And now deleting these. So we do exact and then search if this one is this one. Now, what you would have to do here is, and there's a few different ways you could do it, is ifs. This is true. True, then true. If not, then you're going to do that same thing, but with the next line. So if these, and again, for this first one, you want it to always be on this column. And really for all of them, you just want them to be E and then F. So then this H2, we want it to always be H2. And then if it's not the case, just anything like, let's just do D, and we'll D3 not equal to nothing, then false. So here, essentially what this is saying is, let's try to find rocky road in the first one, then second, then third. If not, then false. If I bring this down, let's look. So this one is true. There's rocky road here, rocky roads are here, and so on. And we got a count of 6. We can go to this count one, and that was also 6. So that just tells us that it's working. Let's try to pull this whole thing over. And sometimes if you don't map this out right, could get errors. But here, it looks like it's all true. Let's see. Yeah, those numbers. Well, let's double check those last ones. The numbers are all the same. And so this one works. So again, the way that we did it here is a lot easier. But if you need something that is exact, this is an option that you can do both by trimming and using the split, as well as using the exact, just with an if statement, or there are, of course, other avenues to go to. I just find this the easiest one to wrap the head around what's relatively simple here. And it gives you a nice calculation. So going back, this is a great addition. You don't have to use scripts anymore. You're able to make something very user-friendly and very helpful. And while you probably aren't using this for ice cream, although maybe you will now if you're hungry like I am right now, you could use it for other things, for assigning it to multiple people. You might be using something else where you want someone to be able to select different products and then be able to, use a count sheet or a split like this to see what products are they trying to buy and then what the price would be as you're using it all. There's a lot of different applications, and this makes it very, very easy and very user-friendly for others. Now, if the stuff that I've seen so far that I'd like is if you can limit how many, as well as just there's some bugs that are kinks. Like when I first started this, the peanut butter cup was not allowing me to select it, and deleting it and making the format again made it work. But the other thing I didn't show is that if you do format this as a table, it still does work. Yep. Okay, cool. I was going to say I didn't actually try that, so I wasn't sure. So lets you pick more. Awesome. And yeah, hopefully you find this video helpful. If there are any questions on it, be sure to leave that in the comments. I'll do my best to answer it or, troubleshoot with you. Again, I hope you're looking forward to this. I think it's a great addition, and, I'm pretty excited about it being a new thing here. So again, if you want more content here, make sure to like, subscribe, share, do those YouTube things. I appreciate it. Till the next video. Bye now.